G'day guys, my name's Zinc and welcome to episode 5 of my Survival Minecraft Let's Play series. I'm not going to say a lot has changed this time, but a lot has changed this time. I'm just going to go over a few things. Nothing has changed in the stupid house that I hate so much. I haven't even been in there since last episode. We've done a little bit of work around the paths. I would like to introduce you to Fleabag. Fleabag is a pet that I have in just about every game where you can have pets. I have a dog named Fleabag. He's world famous in World of Warcraft and has a reputation all of his own in there. And he'll be joining me on some adventures later on in the series. At the moment, he's going to sit like a good boy. Yeah, you are. He's gorgeous. So we have added a little bit of an addition onto this side of the villager trading hall. I decided to do a bit of work with... Actually, my partner mentioned to me that this sort of looks like a university building. And so I guess the guys inside needed somewhere to come outside and relax, even when they're allowed out of their prisons. So I've created a little garden for them. A little bit of a pond and some... Just a nice little garden that they can walk around in, if they could walk around in it. And they could sit down and stare at the beautiful water feature, deluxe water feature I think it is. She did also mention to me that I should put some seats around here so they've got something else to look at. Look, at the moment they're all staring towards the void of a giant empty room and each other being imprisoned. I'm sure they're happy looking at a water fountain. So this... I like the way that they've changed things in the game. This having waterlogged leaves really adds to the way you can texture around ponds and things. It looks really beautiful. Having this seagrass close to the top. I sort of followed an image that someone else had online of a similar sort of pond. They had this sort of pond here. Theirs was more a Japanese sort of theme. I've gone for a more classic sort of flower garden, and it's turned out pretty well. I'm very happy with that, as I'm prone to say. More work on the paths. We have a second tree here similar to the first one. This one was natively generated. This one I sort of copied what was going on there, just a bit of a custom tree to draw the eye a certain way. The giant tower sort of looking thing here, or part of a castle sort of build here, is actually a mob farm. I'll take you into it and show you how it all works. So on this side here, we've just got a spiral staircase. I was looking for a way to blend together what's been created over here. So this is a mob farm made by Shulkercraft, which I'll leave a link for in the description or in the comments down below. This up the top here is just a basic redstone clock, which then operates some dispensers, which dispense water down onto platforms and washes the mobs away. I'll take you up into the AFK platform and just show you how efficient it is. And in no time at all, we're up the top with a lovely view of what's happened down there, a bit of a sort of almost a map-like view. So what you would do is you would AFK up here. A lot of people question why I put beds in my AFK platforms. I don't actually like to completely AFK. I don't mind doing it if I'm watching a movie or doing something else at the computer. I don't like to leave it on overnight. What you do in your own time, that's up to you. This is just how I like to play the game. I prefer to be at the game, playing the game. So I put a bed there so I can sleep each night away. I don't like going back down there and having a whole lot of mobs and things. Being where I am, I can't get those spawns anyway. Yeah, I prefer to just sleep the night away than have to deal with all the problems of staying awake for nights on end. So I'll just take you down with the free cam and show you what's happening here. I don't know how much you're going to see. It's quite dark in here. Well, it's perfectly dark in here. So all we have is platforms, and those platforms get soaked in water and then that gets removed. You can see like the spider here and things. And then they go down to the bottom where there's a killing area which is just made of soul campfires. I went with the soul campfires over standard campfires because soul campfires kill quicker. They do more damage to mobs than the others do. This spawns just about everything. There are bats down here, there are creepers and zombies and skeletons and all the spiders and all the things. It's not the world's most efficient farm, but it is very efficient. I think they quote it at around about 3,000 mobs an hour or 3,000 items an hour, which you obviously get string and bones and bows and zombie flesh and gunpowder, which is the whole reason I really did this. That and the string and a few other things. If it has a downside, it is that it can't kill witches. Fire can't kill witches. They just take a potion and that's null and void. So that's all that is. I don't like the scaffolding, but the scaffolding will go once I have flying, which will be very soon. I'm extremely close to hitting the end. In fact, the next episode will probably be me hitting the end. I've cleared a lot of the land in around, just got rid of a lot of the trees and things. I needed the wood anyway. And we're back down again. So I just leave that running. Once it becomes a problem lag-wise, I'll turn that off and the mobs will spawn and just sit in there or whatever. It won't be so much of an issue. But at the moment, it's not really creating any lag to speak of. We've just got a nice little, I like the way this archway sits. It's over a bay. I had thought about maybe putting a boat in here, maybe clearing this land away from this side, but we'll see how that turns out. In here is just the collection area, so we head down the bottom here. You can hear some mobs all going. I've already cleared out the gunpowder from in here, but yeah, you get the occasional chicken, you get lots of basically everything. So it's pretty efficient. I'm very happy with it. As I said, it's a Shulkercraft design. I went with this look because I didn't like just having a big cylinder that sat in the middle of my land. If you have a look at their tutorial, you'll see that they just end up with a straight out cylinder here. So I built a few things off there and gave it a little bit of texture and things, which just makes it look a little bit better. You'll notice that the iron farm has gone. I spent 2.5 hours moving the iron farm. I thought it would be really easy to just build tunnels underneath here that go across to over to this area here and bring the villagers along. I don't know why I was so obsessed with doing it. I was pushing them and moving them and things. I know that the best way to move them is either in a minecart or a boat, or to put down job tables. Job tables is easily the easiest way to do it. For some reason, I just wasn't in the right frame of mind or something, and I just continued to try and push them along, and I was sort of I'd be going through this little pathway and pushing them and then putting a block down and pushing and putting a block down and pushing like that. And 2.5 hours it took me to get the zombie and the villagers back up here. Actually would have been a ton quicker to just do what I did originally, which is grab some villagers, wait for nighttime, find a zombie and put him down there. It's exactly the same setup as before. I will be building a house over here. My intention was to build on camera to show you how I do it. I am having difficulty getting that to work properly, doing time lapses and things. I do have another camera account which I'll get sorted out, and I will take you guys on a journey with that, show you how I do it. But I thought I'd just go over sort of what I've done here with this is a super smelter, and for some of you, so obviously what you do normally, you just have a furnace and you put in your coal or your fire source, whatever it might be, your heat source, and then you'll put your items in the top, and then you sit and wait as each item is generated, and then you pull them out of here and you get the XP. So the idea behind these, now that I have some iron, I've been able to build hoppers and things. You put a hopper in the back of it, a hopper on top of it, and then up inside here there are rail carts that go along, and hopper mine carts drop down items into the furnaces. I have some items here, so I'll just show you how quick this is with as many furnaces as I've got here, which is what, 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 14 there. So all you do is come up here, you put the items into the top one here. You'll see that they feed very quickly, and you can put multiple items in. It doesn't matter. You could put your food or whatever else it is in there as well. I don't need to grab coal at the moment, but I will just for the sake of the exercise. So then in the other one over here, we just put in some coal. It will also disappear just as quickly, so it's all going into a hopper minecart. And once that's all moved, and we don't need to wait for this to move, this will get picked up again. So then we just flick the switch here, and the minecarts make their journey around and back. And each time they pass over the top, they drop an item into these furnaces. You'll see that it empties very quick, and it picks up some each time it goes past. It's going to pick up a few each time it comes back to the front here. If you are aware of how many have been dropped, and it should be doing it totally evenly. We should have sort of 9, 10 in each one, 9 there, 10 now. And then it cooks them all simultaneously. So you saw I emptied that chest out at the start. We've already got 47, 48, 50 copper going there. It'll take no time at all. It'll only take the time it would take, the time it takes for one to make out there. This one here is doing 14, so it's good. If you want a tutorial on how I did this is a mixture of someone else's design and my own design. I can do a tutorial, but at the moment, as I say, the tutorials are a little bit difficult for me. I'm not finding that real easy to do. So now all the items are gone there. We should end up, we've got 16 in each of those. Well, we've got a few more at the other end there. Okay, so it's finished with the copper and it's going to do the iron. Not like I need iron, but anyway. And then you can just collect the items down the bottom there. So as you can see, we've already done over 2 stacks. It's so quick. It's so much faster than doing things one at a time or individually putting the things in, the items in. The other thing you can do at some point, if you need some XP, you can go along and just destroy these furnaces, and they'll just end up into this chest here in the end anyway. And you'll get all of the XP that it has earned while it was doing this smelting. So you can get large amounts of XP very quickly by destroying those furnaces and putting them back again. I'll go over this build a little bit. So the entranceway here, you can see I've just used... I basically built around the super smelter. So I've built Just a straight out box. I know that's something that I said that at the start, that you don't have to, like, it's better if you don't do a box, but hear me out. There's a reason I started with a box. One, I wanted an open sort of look to this because I want to be able to come in and see the furnaces all going, and get a feel like I'm in a big place that's a blacksmith's place or something like that. And I knew that I was going to add to the sides. So here we've got, just as I say, an entranceway that's nice and simple, textured the floors and things. Threw some chains on inside. I've got the tools up around here. I think it has a very good sort of feel about it, a good vibe about it. The iron, I used iron because I thought, well, if there's any building in this little village, which is obviously a very stone-based village, if anyone can use the metal, it's this place, because they make the metal. So once this one here is finished, we should find that we get any one of these, we'll get the iron come through. Just show you that happened. There you go. So there's the iron. Once the iron is all in place, we'll have 6 of those, in as many of those as we need. And that's probably all we're going to get. It is. So now we can actually turn this off. It'll continue to cook. It'll bring everything in. You can see how fast it is. Again, I'm repeating myself, but that's what it is. On the sides here, we've got some barrels. They don't really serve any purpose other than just appearances. I am keeping coal, or some coal, in here. These are just for show. And same here. I can put more items in here as we go. That'll be something that's doable. We've got a couple of logs out here. There's a little bit of an overhang. There's a chimney. I did go with the copper roof. Boy, oh boy. It's like waiting for paint to dry, waiting for that stuff to turn. I mean, you've got to consider it was all just standard copper when it started, so it's doing okay. I know that copper changes color quicker if you keep the blocks separated, but I didn't want to do it that way, and I don't mind the look of this as it turns. We have an additional little room off the back here, serves zero purpose other than it's just there for looks. Went for a bit of a pitched roof on the top. I think I could have done that in a different color or done that a different way. I've used some fences, some of the stone fences here, stone brick fences, to give a little bit of depth to the building. So that's the key thing that I find with building that I like to do, is to, even this generally I wouldn't build all on the same plane like this, and certainly the house I build over there won't be built that way. That ends up being very flat. I would prefer to be a step back from the edge, which just gives it a little bit of a bit of depth and a little bit of texture, like this front bit here, and gives it a bit of a nicer sort of feel to it. I think it's great. Another custom tree here. I do have an azalea tree over there. That's as much just a placeholder as anything, because something will have to be over there, or will be over there. I think I said before, I may extend this wall over here and put another sort of guard tower up over the point there. As for other things, I mean, we've been doing a ton of mining. There's been a lot of mob killing. Oh yes, so I did head to the Nether and collected the rest of the ender pearls that I required, more than enough ender pearls for what I required, and the blaze rods. So we're definitely able to go to the end fairly quickly. I don't want to rush it, but you know, I'm ready to head in there. You don't really need much, a couple of buckets of water and things, and that'll be the death of me. Watch. I did want to get a netherite sword at least if I'm going in there. But aside from that, maybe another piece of armor or something. But I think I'm pretty well right to go. Look, I think that'll do me for today. I'll keep you updated. I will go to the end and I will build that house over there, and I will get that other software sorted, so I can show you sort of a time lapse of what I'm doing. And yeah, again, thank you so much, guys, for the support. My last video feels like it really took off. It feels funny to say with only sort of 65 views or whatever it's been, but it was really nice. And yeah, again, I'm just having so much fun doing this. It's great fun. Next episode, yeah, the end, and I'll see you there. Thanks for joining me again. See you later, guys. Bye.